Welcome to FBB Forum. I'm very pleased to welcome my next guest, the amazing figure pro and two-time Olympian Shanice Abrams. Sha earned her pro card at the 2020 NPC Universe and has competed in several prominent shows such as the Ben Weider Naturals, Rising Phoenix Arizona Pro, and Atlanta Pro. Sha works as a posing coach and will be appearing at the NPC Women's National Workshop in January in Orlando. She has a great look and amazing structure. Welcome, Sha. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the great intro.
Oh, you're welcome. It's I wanted to mention you had reached out to me and had complimented me on my content, and I just
Mhm.
thought that was so sweet. I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often that, you get the chance to see someone who showcases our divisions within bodybuilding. A lot of times, like the men have a lot of different platforms. Like I know Beyond the Stage TV, they try to do some things involving women, but like Men's Physique News is a great outlet for them. And I know we have the IFBB figure page, but it's just always great when I see someone showcasing the women's divisions, and when you're at shows you give a lot of content, so it makes us feel like we are there at the show with you. So I always appreciate that as someone who's like really into the sport.
Well, that's so sweet. That's like the biggest compliment. I really appreciate that. So that's very nice of you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Oh, and excuse me drinking tea, I'm getting over a cold, so
Oh, no problem. I've got a little coffee here, so I'm good. Thank you. So I wanted to start with some questions about how you got started in bodybuilding. And I was wondering if you had an athletic or sports background before you started competing in bodybuilding.
So I did. I ran track. That was my primary background when I was younger, going into high school, and I competed at the college and pro level in
Oh,
track.
wow. Really?
So yeah, I give my legs. A lot of people always talk about my structure, my legs, and I'm like, yeah, that's all equated to track. That was my love. And then after track, like after I stopped competing for a little bit, when you're a natural born athlete, you're kind of always looking for that next sense of competitive edge.
Yeah.
And so after I stopped competing in track, I was still very much into fitness just because that was just my background. So I did end up stumbling upon, like I went with a friend to like a CrossFit gym, and I that competitive edge came back. So I dabbled in CrossFit for a little bit, competed in a lot of competitions. And then after CrossFit, I kind of just took a break. And once again was just working out regularly. And then I ended up getting into a car accident, which I was not able to work out for several months. So
Oh,
I
wow.
kind of, just had to chill out. And then when I was getting back into the swing of things, like I had started off and I was doing good, but it got it to the point that I wanted to be better. So I started looking into hiring a trainer. And
Okay.
the trainer that I hired actually was well versed in bodybuilding, and he had competed in a show before himself. And so he
Oh,
kind of mentioned it to me, but I knew outside of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I knew nothing about bodybuilding, nothing. I didn't even know women competed in bodybuilding. And so he kind of secretly started prepping me for a show.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he mentioned it to me once, and he was like, you would look very good, if you did a bodybuilding show. And I was like, me on stage in a bathing suit. I was like, absolutely not. That's
Yeah.
not something I want to get into.
Yeah.
But then he kind of started pushing me to do the show. And then I decided, like, what the heck? We did some like makeshift prep of like, it was like 8 weeks. And then
Wow.
I did the show and ended up being very good. It swept all the categories that I was in. And then once again, that competitive edge kicked in. And then that
Uh,
was in 2020. And here we are.
and 2020 is when you earned your pro card, right?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. So you had a really good year in 2020, huh?
I did. I got my pro card very fast. Like I got my pro card in
Wow.
my third show, but it was like back to back.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I was thinking, yeah, track kind of, I've talked to several ladies who've done track before they did bodybuilding,
Mhm.
but not just lower body, but I mean, I think that you can tell with some of the ladies on TV that they have good upper body too,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But I think that gives you the good kind of muscular base you need to compete
It
well,
does.
do well in bodybuilding. Yeah.
Yes, it does. It definitely does.
That's awesome. Did you have a specialty in track?
Yes, I was a short sprinter. I dabbled in long jump, but it was mainly just to like get my team points
Okay.
because I had the speed and I definitely had a lot of power in my legs, which is very good for long jump if you can figure out the mechanics of it.
Okay.
So while long jump wasn't my primary, I would oftentimes do it, but I was a short sprinter, like 100, 200, 60 yards in or 60 meters inside. So for indoor, so yeah, definitely just short sprints.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Um, and you mentioned you did pro in track too?
Yeah, so after I graduated, I still wanted to compete because the first year or two that I ran track, I dealt with a lot of injuries, and primarily because I went from high school training where I was just like I had raw talent, and my coach really didn't know how to properly coach a sprinter that had as much talent as I did.
Okay.
He was a distance coach, so
Mm.
he did what he could. But by the time I got to college, and I went to a HBCU, like my coach was a former Olympian, so he trained us as such. And
Oh yeah.
when you go from not really like I didn't lift at all in high school, so going from that to like being a part of a prominent lifting program, running program, like my body just took a little bit to adapt.
Okay.
So I really felt like I didn't hit my stride until almost senior year.
Okay.
And then at that point, I was getting ready to graduate. I still wanted to compete. So I talked to my coach about it. And so I just ran professionally for another 2 years while I was getting my master's, and was able to still be coached by him.
Oh,
And when you get to that level, it's like you're running unattached, you have sponsorships and everything. So yes, I did that for a couple years after I graduated.
wow, that's terrific. That's really cool. That's awesome. Wow. Um, Now I was curious, do you have like a fitness role model or somebody you really look up to in bodybuilding?
Well, of course, Linda Murray.
Yeah,
And
she's
she's
amazing.
she's an amazing person. I was fortunate enough to meet her through one of my good friends and my mentor, Sydney Gillen. And so Linda, I would say Sydney, obviously, I would say because she's been such a pivotal person. When I
Yeah.
started competing, her and I were fortunate enough to connect very early because we both had the same coach. And so having like her in my life and then her introducing me to a lot of the top competitors, was something that I was fortunate enough to receive early on, which kind of I feel like helped shape and catapult me a little better into the industry of bodybuilding.
That's terrific. Yeah, both of those ladies are great role models,
They are.
and yeah, it's kind of weird for Sydney not to be Ms. Olympia anymore because she's
I know. I
yeah.
definitely miss her and tell her every day she needs to get back on stage, but she's
She was all over the Olympia. I saw her several times
hmm
here, and yeah, she's such a sweetie too. And I saw Linda a lot too. Linda's on the
hmm
too.
They both are everywhere.
I know they're amazing ladies. They really are tireless ladies.
hmm I don't know how they do it. I'd be tired just looking at that.
Oh, me too. Yeah, there's a lot of energy there. Um, Now I was curious, was it you mentioned that you were kind of reticent about getting up on stage in the bikini? Was it kind of tough for that first show? Was it kind of nerve-wracking for you?
Very much so. Still is.
Yeah.
Still is. I have a lot of stage anxiety. I will
Okay.
admit it's gotten better.
Okay.
But that first show, like my coach was backstage with me and he could tell you, I had so many many little anxiety attacks as I was getting ready to go
Oh,
on
really?
stage. Like,
Yeah.
yes, like had it not been for him backstage with me, I don't know if I would have gotten on stage.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I
Yeah.
just was that nervous
Uh-huh.
backstage because I don't like lights on me. I don't like the limelight. I'm very much a person who likes to be in the background
Okay.
and see things come to fruition. But I stay quiet, do the work, I be in my own little world. And so that first show was very tough for me. And then still to this day, like if you ever catch me backstage at a show, I have headphones on because music helps calm me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of to myself just because I just need to go through my own personal steps before I step on stage because stepping on stage is a lot for me. Like people
Yeah.
always say the easiest part for them is stepping on stage and like the training and the diet is the hardest part for them. For me, it's the
Hmm.
opposite.
Yeah.
Like I getting on stage is the worst part for me.
Oh, I understand.
And so, yeah, just I still do have stage anxiety.
I know several ladies that feel that way. They prefer the training and the preparation, but yeah,
Yes, yes.
the stage part is their least favorite. Which
Mhm.
is I understand that though, and I can understand why you feel that way too. So uh, yeah, you're not wearing much on stage there, and everybody's looking at you.
Exactly. It's just
Yeah.
all the eyes on you. You're being judged by these people sitting at a table. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Is it tough? I'd be worried about having the heels and tripping or something.
And falling.
Yeah.
See, every time I'm like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
Yeah, that would be no, that wouldn't be much fun at all to get fall
At
off.
all. At all.
But you could do women's physique, then you ditch the heels, get rid of the heels.
See, and then that's where all the posing and the extra time on stage. No,
Oh
I'm
no.
my little 60-second routine and then comparisons. That's all I need. I don't want to have to do a whole performance.
I got what about you don't want the pose down? No, just kidding.
Oh, no.
There was actually, I think the Masters Olympia had figure doing pose down, which I thought was funny. They're posing down in the heels.
Did
It was
they? I don't
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
Maybe I missed that. Oh, I would have turned white. I'd have been ghost on stage. Like I would have been a deer in headlights. Not a good idea.
it was interesting watching it, and very few times I've seen the figure where ladies asked to do a pose down. But it was pretty interesting. It was cool.
That's very good.
Um, Now I know you've been a two-time Olympian, which is terrific, both in 2022 and 2024. What
Mhm.
was your experience like at those two shows? I bet that was a big thrill for you.
So, and I hate to say this, but once again, my friendship with Sid has helped me to like when I went to both Olympias, it was just another show to me. Like in terms of like dealing with my stage anxiety and being like prepared,
Yeah.
it was just another show in that aspect of like my mindset because that first Olympia, her and I were both in Arizona. Like we both, our coach lives in Arizona and we
Mhm.
both went to Arizona. Like Sid got there at 8 weeks out and I went at 6 weeks out. And we were both out there kind of like prepping together. And
Okay.
so she was like, hey, you have any questions about the Olympia? Because another fun fact, the first time I ever went to the Olympia, I was competing in it. So I had
Okay.
never seen what it looked like.
Oh,
I
really?
knew nothing about it, expo, nothing. So
Oh,
she
wow.
showed me pictures. She walked me through everything. She's like, this is what you do on this day. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what. So she gave me the complete rundown. So by the time I got there, I had already knew kind of everything. And then her and I were like, partners in crime. Like we both went to the meet and greet at the same time, check-ins. When we went to go backstage, we went at the same time. So it just helped my anxiety a lot. And so in
Nice.
terms of
Yeah.
like that, it was like ended up being just another show for me, which was great. But in terms
Yeah.
of like actually stepping on the Olympia stage, it's a once in a lifetime experience every time. It's
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
see so many people who love this sport, to see all the top judges there who dedicate so much of their time to the sport, it really comes to fruition how many people just love the sport of bodybuilding. And as
Yeah.
someone who is very much into sports and athletics, I just love to see it. And it's a out of body experience.
Oh, and I think it's amazing seeing the finals at Olympia just because it's such a big spectacle and it's
Yeah.
all the lights and they got the lasers and everything.
Uh-huh.
The music is the music is a little loud actually, like the
Yeah.
bass will, like kind of rotate through
They
your
do that
body.
on purpose.
Yeah. I have to make sure I bring my earplugs because I'm old. But it's fun though. It's great experience. And I definitely recommend it to folks to go check
Oh,
it.
yes, for sure. I
Yeah.
recommend it to all my clients and everyone. I'm like, go and see it. Because I'm like, especially if your aspirations are one day to step on that Olympia stage, go to Olympia and see it for yourself. I'm like, don't be like me and go the first time when you actually compete because
Yeah.
you know nothing. But yes, I tell them to go.
That's awesome. No, I think I agree with you on that. And I've told people to do the same. Yeah, because it's really kind of a special thing for sure.
Hmm.
And it's definitely bigger than any other show. I mean, just in terms
Oh,
of
yes.
production values and everything.
Hmm.
It's also a lot more expensive too. You're
It is.
yeah,
It
because
is.
those tickets will get you. But
Very
it's
true.
still it's worth it though. It's great. It's
It
a thing.
is.
Yeah. Um, Now, both for 2022 and 24, which shows did you win to get your O qualification in those years?
So 2022, I won Pittsburgh Pro.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah,
Was not expecting that. But yes, I was so happy to because they always say winning the Pittsburgh Pro, like that's like second tier to the Olympia. It's a top level show.
it
So
is. Yeah.
winning one a show back when they used to have like tiers, that was one of the
Yeah,
top tier shows.
I
Well,
remember that.
I think they brought it back, but just in a different aspect in terms of the point system and everything for other categories. But
Yeah.
2022, I won Pittsburgh. And then in 23, I won Ben Weider to go to the Olympia in 24.
Oh, I see. Oh, so yeah, because it
Yeah.
qualified you for next year. Oh, yeah.
Ben Weider it was in like November. And so I won that show, and that's what qualified me for 24.
That's very cool.
Mhm.
And I was curious about in terms of the Ben Weider Naturals,
Mhm.
it's a natural show.
Mhm.
And have you always competed as a natural competitor?
Yes.
Oh, have you really? Oh, very cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh,
I mean, I don't really talk about it much because one thing you learn, especially being an athlete, like when you get on stage or when you like how for track we used to step on like we're all on an even playing field. Like in terms
yeah.
of we're all going out there to do the same thing. There's no background checks. There's no, well, for the Ben Weeder, there was. But I like to be someone who's at the top of my game and competing with top level athletes. And so I always just opt to do all the top tier shows.
Yeah.
And so Ben Weeder, it was a great show. It's a great run show. And I really do appreciate the concept. And then the year after I did it, I want to say 24 is when like they changed the qualifications and like made more of the natural movement in terms of bodybuilding, which is a great
Yeah.
idea.
Huh.
And I am very appreciative for that. But I will say, just for me specifically, I just like to compete in top level shows. But that year I did do the show and really did love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I've talked to it. The women's physique, the last two ladies that made it to the Olympia from winning that
Mhm.
show, Trish Polidor and Andrea Alonso. And
Mm,
I just think it's cool because that I think it's the one natural show that qualifies you for the Olympia. But
hmm.
and those two ladies I thought held their own, in those
Hmm.
the show and at the Olympia, of course.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But yeah, it is. I think that's great. I think you're right. They did change the qualification
Hmm.
for
So now you
and
can't just compete in the Ben Weeder. You have to qualify. Like the Ben Weider is like a mini Olympia now. So you
Yeah,
have to qualify to do the Ben Weider. So yeah, that was they changed that. Like I said in 24, they
yeah.
changed that.
That's what Trish mentioned too. She wasn't
Mhm.
sure if it was worth competing because there's only going to be like two competitors in physique. And
Mhm.
then was that going to be, if you won it, would that still qualify you for the regular Olympia the following year?
Mhm.
So I think she's still waiting to find that out because
Mm,
the leadership didn't really know. So yeah, kind of
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
It's tough when you're rolling something out that's new. That first
Hmm.
year or two, you're always gonna have some things that you probably didn't think about or need to fix. But I do see the natural shows that they are doing now. There's so many of them now, and there's going to
Yeah.
continue to be more, and it's only going to grow. And it's
Hmm.
actually going to bring a lot of athletes to bodybuilding who
Yeah.
are on that spectrum or might have been on the fence about if they wanted to compete or not. So I do think it's a great idea.
I agree with you on that. I think that's it's smart to do it that way. And yeah, and like I said, I think the natty competitors hold their own, on
Yes.
big stage too. It's impressive, I think. So now I was curious, have you sought out any feedback from the judges on where to improve your physique or your presentation?
I have. I always shoot for feedback from the judges. Sandy is very good at giving it. Becky, Bernadine, and Tyler even. I saw Tyler at Pittsburgh Pro, and just spoke to him a little bit. Tyler's always very open to talking to athletes. Any of the judges are. And so I have asked several times each of them, things that I can improve upon. And then I'm also lucky enough to have a coach who's been in the business for so long and has coached so many Olympians and actual winners of their category. So
Nice.
he
Yeah.
has a wealth of knowledge. So I always trust his judgment as well. Like a lot of times, even before stepping on stage for the show, he already knows what I need to work on the minute I step off stage to improve for the next show. So I
Perfect.
definitely do talk to judges about feedback.
That's good. I think that's smart to do that because yeah, the judges they just want to help you really. I mean, they
Yes.
wanna see you get better and stuff too. So yeah. Um I was curious, what do you think in terms of advice you can provide to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card? I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any advice you can provide otherwise?
Um, Head down and do the work.
Yeah.
That's always the biggest thing, because that encompasses everything. That means like you shouldn't be going on social media to try to see who's doing the competition and psyching yourself out. That means if you have to create boundaries with your family because you're shooting for a goal, that's a personal goal, you might have to tell them, hey, I need this time for myself. There's certain things that I can't go to for friends and family. That encompasses time management, depending on what kind of career you have and everything, you might have to start really looking at how you're managing your time. So when you keep your head down, which to me means focus, when you focus on what you're doing and making sure everything aligns, it actually puts you closer to reaching your goal of becoming a pro.
That's good advice. I like that. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Mhm.
And I'm still impressed you got your pro card after just three shows in that first year of competing.
It was a
So
fluke. That doesn't happen.
I know it doesn't happen often, but you must have been really focused too, but it happened.
I was, and it was crazy because I had my first competition and then COVID happened in like
Yeah.
March.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it was crazy because originally with the old format, junior USA's used to be in like April. Like it used to be one of the first national shows, like April or May. And
Uh-huh.
that was the show we were shooting for. And
Mm.
then the world shut down. And that whole time COVID happened, I was in prep. Like my
Oh
coach
wow.
never pulled me out of prep
Okay.
because we just weren't sure. Like he's like, I want you to be ready. So when things start to open back up, we can
Yeah.
hop in that first national show. And so I had to be focused. Like, well, literally, there was nothing else going on in the world at that time.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was hiking a lot, doing outdoor workouts. I was like, I had to use my brain to kind of figure out how I was getting stuff in. Meals weren't really an issue because we still had the grocery store. So, I
Yeah.
was getting my meals in, but I had to be really conscious about my workouts, checking in with my coach. Um, and then I did end up doing the first national show, which ended up being in August. It was actually the first show that NPC and obviously the IFBB had to open back up the season.
Yeah.
And it was USA's. I did that and didn't place well. And it was, once again, anxiety got the best of me.
Oh
Cortisol
yeah.
levels went through the roof.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and so, because I had never seen a national show before,
Uh-huh.
still dealing with the pandemic. And then we decided to go again 5 weeks later for Universe. And then I ended
Oh,
up getting my pro card at Universe.
nice. Did you have to wear a COVID mask on stage or?
We did for USA's, but not for Universe.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
By the
Mm.
time we had gotten to Universe, they weren't requiring us to wear masks.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
hmm
cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy time with all the COVID stuff going
hmm
on. And yeah, just how swiftly everything shut down. And
Yes.
I was on spring break, like in vacation, and stuff started closing down that week of spring break. And it was
Oh.
just so weird. It was just strange to see that and not really understand what was going on. I was like, wow.
hmm It was
Yeah,
it was very strange, unprecedented times.
it was. It was crazy. I'm glad it's over and hope
Yeah.
it doesn't happen again or yeah.
Let us pray.
Yeah. I was curious, what do you think is your best muscle group and what do you think what muscle group needs the most improvement?
Oh, my best muscle group, I would probably say quads, just
Yeah.
because like I just think that my quads have always been dominant. I am one of the rare people like in our division. When I first started competing, they were telling me and my coach like she's got to bring her upper body up because
Uh,
her legs are overpowering. And normally
yeah.
it's the opposite for like our division. Like normally girls have to like increase their leg size to be proportionate. So I will say I've always been very quad dominant and I love my quads.
Nice.
And then like in terms of things that still need improvement, my posterior chain, like I have amazing back structure, but just getting that back depth, and bringing my glutes up because those are two muscular structures that it takes time.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated a lot of times, but then I have to remind myself that I've only been competing about 4.5 years. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
trying to get that back density and that glute pop and everything, it takes time to build. I can't rush that.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
so those are like the areas like my posterior chain that I've really focused on trying to bring up. And I know just it's just going to take more shows that I do and just continue beating those parts of the body up in order for them me to really get the depth.
Okay. Terrific. I understand that. Yeah, that's cool. I think you do have a really balanced physique, but and yeah, your legs are pretty dominant though. That is I like that though. It makes sense
Thank
though with all
you.
the your track and field in your track,
hmm
you know, experience like that. So
Very much so.
now you mentioned your coach. What is your coach's name?
Damien Segovia, aka the producer
Oh,
on Instagram.
he's famous. Yeah, he's a good
He
coach.
is. He is. He is a
Yeah.
he's a great guy. And was lucky enough I was lucky enough to snag him as a coach early. Like I said, I my mother likes to say I'm an anomaly because when I came into the bodybuilding scene, like that first show, I just had my trainer who acted as my coach because it was just something I was checking off the bucket list. But once I found out that I could be good at bodybuilding, I immediately was like, okay, I need to find a coach. Like, I need to
Yeah.
find a good coach. I looked up who was at the top of the division and I found Sydney and I was like, who's her coach? And then
Uh-huh.
I messaged him and I'm like, hey, just got into the bodybuilding world. I have no idea what I'm doing and I need a coach.
Oh, I
And I
see.
sent him
Yeah.
pictures from my competition. And him and I had a conversation. And then once again, me being a very determined person, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna fly to Arizona so we can meet in person and I can see you in
Oh,
person. And like a couple weeks later, I flew to Arizona. Um, and that was when we were trying, it was during COVID. Like it was when they had started letting us fly. So I would say like June-ish. I went
okay.
out there to go visit him.
Yeah.
I stayed out there for like a week, trained with him, got to know him, and we have been locked in ever since.
That's terrific. Yeah, he's a great coach. He's really well
Yes.
known too. But he's definitely one of the top coaches, no
Yep.
doubt.
And he does not get his due justice, but you know, that's a conversation for another
Oh,
day.
well, yeah. No, I think he's great. I think and he's got a lot of great athletes for
He
sure. So,
does. He
you know,
does.
um, now does he help you with posing too, or do you have a posing coach?
My posing coach is Sid.
Oh, Sid. Oh, yeah. Oh, very
Mhm.
cool. So she works
Oh,
with,
for sure.
yeah,
I 100% believe in, like I said, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to find the best person at whatever it is to help teach me that. And
yeah,
Sid is by far the best poser for our division. And
yeah, no
so
doubt.
I knew it. I was like, oh, she's posing coach. All right, absolutely. Sign me up. That's my coach. And Sid has been my coach for the same amount of time that Damien has been my coach.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
the minute I found Damien, I reached out to Sid and got her as my posing coach. So that way, when I got ready to step on that national stage, I've had both of them from the beginning.
wow, that's terrific. Wow. So that I imagine having an amazing team like that helped you get ready for the Olympia too. And
Yes,
yeah, that's really,
exactly. That's why I said
yeah,
I'm a little different, but it just goes to show that like when you find the right coach and find the right team around you, like even my team as a whole, Pro Physiques, like an amazing team. And they had been there like Renee Harshey, who was the first ever like wellness champion. She, Alexandra Ross, who was a top bikini competitor, like having those kind of coaches on the team and their teammates of mine, they
hmm,
were already competing at a top level and were able to help shape me to be able to compete at a top level as well. So I have an amazing team around me.
that's terrific. That's amazing. Yeah, no, I think that's smart. You're smart to do it that way, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. And I think maybe from competing at the top level at track, you kind of wanted to continue top level with bodybuilding too. It sounds,
Yes,
yeah,
for sure. That
yeah,
competitive edge.
yeah. I think that's great. That's very cool. Um, I was curious, what do you think is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
That and balancing a full-time job. Like
Yeah,
anyone who tries to compete at the top level, like you notice a lot of top level Olympians, like that is their career, that a lot of them are
yeah,
coaches.
hmm,
And so I'm fortunate enough to have like an actual career. So I'm someone who has like a regular 9 to 5 job. I
hmm,
also have clients of my own. And so between working a regular 9 to 5 job, having like my own business, um, it just my time is very valuable. And
yeah,
I will say that my time is limited. So I will say that's probably the toughest thing for me in terms of this sport. Like I really wish that I could like if I was prepping for a show, just go out to Arizona and be able to just have that time. Like it would just be amazing, but I have to find a way to make it work with my coach, and we do. So I would say that's the most challenging thing for me is just having
yeah,
an actual full career and trying to compete at the same time.
yeah. I totally understand that. That is really tough. I know, and yeah, there's not, but and then there's not many ladies that have the privilege of just focusing on bodybuilding full time too, because
Yeah.
it's one of the few pro sports where you probably have more money going out than coming in. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Tough though. Yeah. Um, what do you think about in terms of ladies looking for a good coach? What advice can you provide for ladies looking that are looking for a coach, maybe starting off or looking to find a new coach?
Do your research and have several conversations with them.
Hmm.
And by research, I mean more than just looking at their social media, like looking at who they have trained. Because I strongly believe, like, if you have a coach who consistently has a revolving door of clients,
Mm.
that could potentially mean something.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily always mean something, but if you see that as a pattern, that's something that you could have a conversation with them about. I am a fully open and transparent person, and lucky enough, everyone on my team is like that as well. But do your research, get your questions together. Maybe if you can talk to any of their current competitors that they have, and then make sure you have conversations with them. Set up a Zoom, set up a phone call,
Mm.
and just talk to them. Talk to them, be open, tell them what your goals are, tell them a little bit about your background. I feel like if you're looking for a coach, there should be a consultation that happens. It shouldn't just
Mm.
be, oh, well, you pay this amount of money and I'm sending you a meal plan. There needs to
Yeah.
be some kind of build up there. So do your research, set up conversations with them, ask them the important questions, and then go from there.
That's good advice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. When I spoke with Carrie Gearing a couple days ago, a women's physique competitor, and I like what she said. She said that the coaches athletes are like their business card, or the coach
Mm-hmm.
business card, because it shows how successful they've been,
Yes.
and I like that. That's good way of putting it. And it kind of makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Yeah. Um I think that, a lot of people don't realize how tough the mental aspect of bodybuilding can be.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious, how do you maintain your mental health while you're in prep?
So once again, I'm a little different. I was raised to be very tough. I am just someone who it comes naturally for me to compete. So I know about being focused on something just as a former athlete.
Hmm.
But I do talk to, I have a lot of clients who I've had to coach through because, even though I'm a posing coach, um, clients come to me and ask questions and talk about things. You're kind of a therapist at the same time.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
tell them, like, boundaries, as I mentioned before, is a huge thing.
Yeah,
And if there are people who are around you that are not aligning with what you feel you would like to do, which is a personal goal of yours, you need to reevaluate those relationships.
yeah.
So creating boundaries, time management is a huge thing. Like, I am someone who has to take things one day at a time.
Hmm.
Like, I am not, like, I joke with Sid all the time, because she's one of my closest friends, that like Sid will plan her whole week, her month, and her year out in advance. I'm not somebody who can do that. So
Okay,
I
I got
take
it.
it like one day at a time, maybe a couple days at a time. I might plan a couple days ahead.
Okay.
But my advice to people is always take it one day at a time. Stop looking at the goal of the stage. Now, while you know that is a goal, in the back of your mind, understand that there are steps that you have to reach to get there. So focus on one step, and then focus on the next step, and then focus on the next step. And the next thing you know, it's show day. So you have to create those boundaries, make sure you have the right people around you, and then focus on one thing at a time and take everything step by step.
That's great advice. I like that. Yeah, that makes sense. And no, I do think that's really good advice. Now, how long have you worked as a posing coach?
Uh, Almost 3 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I With having Sid as my coach, I'm a fast learner. I used to be a dancer, and so having her and understanding that, like, being coachable is huge, and I'm someone who's very coachable.
Okay.
Having multiple conversations with her, like, even before I unleashed my business, I had a conversation with Sid and I'm like, hey, Sid, I'm like, I don't really know if I should like, you know, have my business, promote it. I'm like, I was very timid about it. But one
Okay.
thing that I knew and was very passionate about is that I would not enjoy going to shows and seeing people lose placement because they don't properly present their package. And
Yeah.
it's just like you work so hard on this. The last thing you want to do is be slid out of that box because you don't know how to properly present your body.
Yeah.
And
That's a good point.
so I was always like, well, I don't think anyone will want to listen to me. Like, I'm not a top level competitor. But Sid was like, girl, she's like, everybody out here needs help. And
Yeah.
she's like, you have been able to learn very fast. And she's like, even if you're just helping NPC competitors who are stepping on stage for the first time, you're
Uh-huh.
helping them. And
Yeah.
so I was like, you know what? You're right. So it started
Mm.
off as that me helping, NPC competitors, but then you continue to learn the craft, and then I am also my own business card. And so
Yeah. That's
people
true.
seeing
Yeah.
me on stage at the Olympia and how detail oriented I am with my posing, even
Yeah.
though I have my posing coach said I still practice a lot on my own, and
Okay.
them seeing that, has helped push my clientele up to where I now have a good portion of IFBB pros. A couple of them competed in Masters Olympia. I have shared the stage with some of them.
Oh, nice. That's great.
And so it's just something I was passionate about because I am always each one teach one. Once I learn something, I want to make sure I'm passing on that knowledge so we can continue to grow the sport.
And I was curious, do you have room for more clients or are you,
Oh, yes,
oh,
for
you can,
sure.
oh, cool. I'm just curious in case people listening in want to contact you. So,
Yep. Reach out to me, DM me, and I will shoot you the form and we can get you started. I do virtual and in person for those in the DMV area.
and what about, I was curious, do you help with men competitors or male competitors too?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I've had numerous men's physique clients, classic physique clients. I don't go to the big boys.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
a little bit out of my wheelhouse right now. But I definitely do men's physique and classic physique clients.
Oh, yeah. The big guys are amazing.
Mhm.
Gosh.
They are, but I'm just not as intricate with that posing just yet.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing what they do. But
Mhm.
sometimes they get a little too big, in my opinion. They're like, that's
To
crazy.
each his own. If they like it, I love it.
Um, I was curious, do you have a husband or a boyfriend?
No.
Oh no, that's cool. I'm just curious. Yeah,
I am at this thing single.
you got a lot
But
going on too in your life.
yeah,
You're busy.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what makes it hard to date because, it's someone who is most of the time in prep for majority of the year,
yeah,
attempting to date, but trying to explain to someone, yeah, I can't go out to eat. I can't do this. I can't do that. I have a bedtime of like 9:30, like
yeah, yeah.
it's tough. So I just tend not to. I just kind of keep to myself.
Oh no, I understand that. No, and it's tough. But just with all you got to juggle too, it's
Hmm.
hard time wise. I would think too. You don't have
It
much time
is.
in the day. So no, that's cool though. Um, and we talked earlier in terms of where you live. You're in the Maryland, but in DC metro area.
Hmm. I am. I
And
definitely am.
what's like the bodybuilding community like there in that area?
Oh, it's a strong community out
Yeah.
here, and definitely growing. There's a good number of shows out here, which
Mm,
which is good for the area. Like they do a good portion of shows in Laurel, Maryland. They do a couple in Alexandria, Virginia. They do a couple in Woodbridge. So I think that has what continued to grow the community is that they have a lot of shows out this way, and then they have a really big posing seminar that the Shop Gym and Victoria and Tony put on. That is a whole big production. And that posing workshop that they have in February of every year always brings a lot of people from the DMV area out because they have a lot of Olympians who come and speak and do the posing at the seminar that they have in February. So the DMV community is very fortunate to have a decent bodybuilding community.
That's great. It would be nice to have a pro show there too. I don't recall. I think the closest pro show
The
that I can
DC
think of.
Pro Am they have, but
Yeah.
they only have men's physique. Uh, I think they have wellness and bikini. I think those are the only three pro shows, but that they have pro divisions that they have in the DC Pro Am.
Oh yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I was thinking Norfolk, when London Murray had that had
Yeah, yeah, but
women.
I don't think they have Norfolk anymore. It was only like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, it's true. It was, yeah, kind of
Mhm.
short lived. Yeah. That'd be cool that like Trump should just step up and like do a bodybuilding show and he can just
Yeah.
be the promoter or whatever,
Uh-huh.
Um, now you mentioned your mom earlier, but I was curious if your parents support your bodybuilding career.
They do
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. They go to every show.
Oh,
They
good.
are screaming in the front, bells and whistles, head cutouts,
Oh,
everything.
really?
And my
That's
mom gets just as anxious as I do.
oh,
Like
wow.
sometimes she'll be head in her lap when they go to like announce placings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my parents, my family is very supportive of my bodybuilding journey, which I love.
That's great. Yeah, it's good to
Mhm.
have that cheering section too.
It is. It is.
Yeah. No, that's terrific. I'm glad to hear that because I've talked with ladies whose parents don't support it or don't
Hmm.
understand it, and it's yeah, it can be heartbreaking, I think, sometimes,
It is. And my parents did have to understand a lot. It took a lot of coaching. I was
Yeah.
nervous even to tell them about my first show.
Yeah.
But the more they learn, you would think that they're experts now. They're like they go to shows, they're even explaining stuff to people. Like my mom was telling me at my first Olympia, they had sat next to some people who had never been to the Olympia before. Mind you, I told you my first time going to the Olympia was me competing. So it was also my parents' first time.
Oh.
They're explaining to these people what's going on stage, talking about placings. And she's like,
Hmm.
yeah, we met some really good people. And I'm like, y'all are just now getting into the sport.
That's
But
awesome.
love my parents and my family to death. And my sister, I have one sister. She is very heavily involved as well. And sometimes is able to come to shows and like help with my parents and their anxiety.
That's awesome. That's
So
sweet. I
yeah,
think
my family is very supportive.
that's terrific. I'm glad to hear that because yeah, like I
Hmm.
said, it's not always the case, and
Hmm.
that's really cool. And I was curious, you have any kids or hope to have kids later?
No kids right now. Maybe down the line, but I'm not really
Oh,
looking
that's
to
cool.
have kids right now, or it all depends. If I find that amazing, counterpart one day, I might look to have a child or two, but not as of right now.
That's cool. No, you
Mhm.
mind me asking how old are you?
I am 37.
37. So
Mhm.
you still got time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I just have one daughter and yeah, it's rewarding having kids, I think. And it's fun watching them grow and watching them learn.
Yeah, I have two nieces that I
Oh,
am
nice.
able to treat like they are my own. So I love them and spoil them to death. So
That's sweet.
they're kind of fulfilling that for me right now.
Did they get to come to your bodybuilding shows too?
They haven't been able to come to one yet just because school and everything, like with the times that we compete, most of the time for me it's like spring season or fall, and so they haven't really been able to, but my hope is to get them to one, hopefully the Olympia next year or whatever shows I do next year they'll be able to come.
Oh, cool. How old are they?
They're 11.
Oh, okay, terrific. Yeah, that'd be great to get them to come and root for
Uh-huh.
you. I was thinking if they're too young, they wouldn't be able to come per se, but
Oh
11.
no, they call me Auntie Buff Buff. So
Oh,
they
that's
have seen my shows on TV and everything. They watch the playback and everything. So yeah, they love it.
that's super sweet. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Now, I want to make sure watching time. Are you okay with a couple more questions?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. I know it's
I
9:30.
just want to, my voice, I hope it just doesn't continue to crack on me while I'm trying to
Oh no,
record.
no, you're good. No. And I'll just do a couple more questions
Mhm.
and we'll wrap it up. But thanks again for your time.
Of
Um,
course.
um, I was just curious, do you ever find it you're relatively young, so
Mhm.
you're used to social media, I imagine, but do you ever find it hard to keep up with the demands of social media?
Absolutely. I am not used to social media. It's very hard for me. I'm not someone like I post more on my stories just because it's easier to,
Yeah,
but for me, actual posts are hard. And it's crazy because I film a lot of my workouts and exercises within my workouts. It's mainly for form because like if I'm not training with my trainers, I like to record myself so I could go back and watch the video to make sure like my form is good. So I
yeah.
have a lot of videos, but to actually have the time to sit down, to edit them, to do all the nuances that they do with content and posting. I'm just not good at that. So I don't post as often. Like I might post once every 3 weeks or so, which is so bad because
Oh yeah.
you know,
No,
I,
that's
I
okay.
I need to get better with posting. And like it was
Yeah.
better when I had a videographer who I would just tell him, like, hey, come and just film workouts. Can you just edit
Yeah.
this and post it for me? But you know, I just with my time, I just haven't been able to like link up. It's even been hard to train with my actual trainers because just my schedule is so sporadic right now. So I get to the gym when I can.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not the greatest with I'm trying to get better. I want to get better. I
Oh
do.
no. I think your Instagram is great and that my trick is like you just don't edit. You just throw it out there. Just keep it.
See, and I really should just start posting. I guess I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, I see all these other people who like do all of this nice stuff with their videos. So I'm like, I want to do that too, but I should just start posting like raw, unedited like videos.
Yeah. I've actually gotten compliments because people like my podcast because it is unedited, it just kind of
Mm,
and it just feels more real, I guess. So yeah, yeah, so that's my advice.
I need to, yeah, I should get better with that.
Um, I was curious, do you ever deal with like post-show blues and if so, how do you cope with that?
Once again, I have not really.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's
and
good.
it's been I've been fortunate to it's very important to make sure that you have the people around you who are able to support you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I was told very early on, like my prep coach does not play that. Sydney even didn't play that. So like after the first show that I competed, Damien wasn't my coach, but that first show, I still like that competitive spirit in me. Like that night, I ate. That next day, I ate. But by the time Monday came back around, I was back in the gym. I was back eating like, a normal diet. So
Mhm.
I didn't do it then. And then once I got with Damien and he was my coach, like he was very much, I would have my post show meal plan already lined up. So
Oh,
he
good.
was
Yeah.
always, look, you get that night, you maybe get the breakfast next morning, but by the time you hop on that plane and get back to, where you live at your normal life, you're back on that meal plan.
Okay.
And for
Good.
him, the reverse out is just as important as the actual prepping for the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lucky enough, I get my little fun. I dabble here and there, but I have learned that I get cheat meals and the food will always be there.
Yeah.
So I generally am back on meal plan by that Sunday evening. And then I get my cheat that Friday. So I'm like, I can wait 4 or 5 more days to get some of those cravings in and then go back on my meal plan. So
Okay.
I have been fortunate enough to not really deal with post show blues or any type of body dysmorphia
Good.
because I've learned to love all levels of me as someone who, since I've competed so much, I've had so many different body structures that
Yeah.
like I've learned to love them all.
I think that's great. I love that. And I think that's smart to do the reverse like you be smart about it like that, you
Hmm.
know. So no, that's terrific. I as a fan, I think all the seasons of the bodybuilders is impressive
Hmm.
and admirable. I think, you know, yeah,
Hmm.
I just no, I think y'all look amazing. It's not really safe or healthy to be lean year
Yep.
round either. I know.
Hmm.
So yeah, you did, you know, I think it's good to be get in that health phase too.
Yeah.
Um, well, thank you again for your time. I was wondering if there's
Of
anything,
course.
thank you, anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out?
Always my team, Pro Physiques. If you guys are looking for amazing coaches, there are so many of them and they pay attention to detail, and majority of them have competed before or have a long history of clients. So I always promote my team if you're looking for coaches who will make sure they're paying attention to you, no matter how many clients they have. And then also my sponsors, Lift Tech, that's who I happen to be wearing. They are an amazing sponsor, Doug, who oversees the company. He believed in me since like almost day one, and I've appreciated him for that because sometimes it's tough to get sponsors who
Yeah.
believe in you when you're not a top level athlete. So Lift Tech Fitness is great for lifting gear. They do customized belts,
Okay.
which they're great. And then my suit sponsor, who is a quarter turn and is amazing. She makes the best suits, hands down. If you give her a vision, she will bring it to life. And so those two sponsors that I have, I love them to death and want to make sure I shout them out. And then, as always, my team, Sid, Damien, my two trainers, Dwayne and Brandon. I could not compete without them because they hold me down. Even when I don't see them, they're checking in on me. They're making sure I'm doing what I need to do. So
Okay.
I love them and all my family and friends who support me.
That's so awesome. Yeah. The suit sponsor you mentioned is called the Quarter Turn. Is that right?
Yep. It's called a quarter turn.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And no, that's really sweet. I think that's great. And it's great that you got some sponsors too
Hmm.
in your corner and such a great team too with Sid
Yes.
and Damien and everybody. And um, the two trainers, the trainers are name them again?
Dwayne and Brandon.
Dwayne and Brandon. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for your time, Shot. And it was really nice to get to meet you and thank you for reaching out. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate the kind words you said about my podcasts and
Yes, and
content.
thank you for asking to interview me. I'm not at the pinnacle of everything, so anytime anybody asks if they can like interview me, I'm always open to it. Just because I they people say I should tell my story more, and I don't talk a whole lot, so I do appreciate you asking and setting this up.
Thank you. Yeah, you're a sweetheart too. It's great to get to meet you and virtually
Mhm.
and you are a top athlete. You're a two-time Olympian. That's nothing to sneeze at. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again, though. And as I mentioned, I'll probably try to get this posted tomorrow morning, and I'll tag you and stuff too. So,
Okay, for sure.
but thanks again for your time. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.